What's up, guys? Your boy Chris C-Walkz. Today, we're going to do something a little different on the channel. I have a little different segments on my channel, but today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do something on my channel that's called Fun Facts with C-Walkz. Um, and today we're going to do um, Texas because I live in Texas. Although on the back, I had to have my Pittsburgh Steelers on the wall. I had to. No ifs, ands, or buts. So today we're going to do 50 facts about Texas. Um, I will be crediting the video down below. But in case you want to know, if you want to find where these facts I'm getting off of, you can go to factretriever.com slash Texas with a hyphen facts. So, did want to give credit to the people who did their research. I'm just the person that's just reading it and publicizing it to y'all, so y'all can join me. But I did want to give them the credit to actually doing the research and doing, you know, doing this. So I thought I'd try something new on the channel. So we'll see how it goes. So with that being said, we're going to start with facts one of Texas. Did you know? This is number one. Did you know that Bowie knife is named after the Alamo hero Jim Bowie? His life was awesome. Sorry guys, there's Stella, my kitty right there, just giving me kisses. So yeah, so she wants to make an appearance here in the video. Um, so yes. Actually, she's covering my computer. Put her over here. All right. So Jim Bowie, there's a Bowie knife, is named after the Alamo hero Jim Bowie, who lived from 1796 to 1836. So that puts him at only a 40-year lifespan, probably 39 to 40 years old. So he didn't live that long. I mean, of course, if he battled the Alamo, I think if I'm precisely on my Texas history, Texas lost that battle, but somehow we managed to capture Santa Ana. Anyways, so his brother Rick Ridson designed the hefty weapon on his behalf. So yeah, so that's pretty interesting. Number two, we're gonna get a little violent. Number two, it is still a hanging offense. We still do hanging in Texas, unfortunately. To steal cattle or put graffiti on someone else's cattle. Let me tell you something. I know a lot of parts of the world they do graffiti on walls, but to an animal, a cow, you can actually hang somebody for drawing, for not drawing, for painting, spray painting the peace sign on a cattle. It is also illegal to indecently expose or swear in front of a corpse in Texas. So you walk up to a corpse that's dead. I'm not saying that you're the one that killed it, but I'm saying, if you find a dead corpse, it didn't specify, human or animal. But if you walk up to a dead corpse, like say it's a human or a cow in this case, or a dog, and you be like, you BB, you A, the A hole, and you all that stuff, it is illegal to cuss at a corpse. Like if you're looking at a corpse, you should not ever cuss at a corpse. Don't do it. Don't cuss at corpses. In Galveston, Texas, especially in Galveston, Texas, because if you were to do so, it is also illegal to have a camel run loose on the beach. So who would okay, first of all, in Texas, who would think, usually camels are desert animals, but who would think to export a camel from, I guess, the closest desert biome is New Mexico, but still, I don't even, do we have camels in Texas? I have to research that, but I'm sure some zoos we do, but in Texas, but to literally have a camel running on the beach in Texas, don't that sound unreal? And then the beach, it is illegal to have a camel running loose in the beaches. Texas, we don't have that many beaches. We have maybe Port Arthur. I think one of our famous ones is uh, Corpus Christi, and it's not even the best. It's not that great. I've been there, but don't ever have a camel roam free on a beach. It is illegal. Don't you ever do it. Okay? Even Stella is very excited to tell y'all on the camera. Don't uh, get camels on the beaches. Don't do it. Number 3, by the way. An Oscar, the Academy Award statuette, was named for Texan Oscar Pierce. So you see that golden statue that an actor, I believe is an actor who wins the award, was named after a Texan named Oscar Pierce, who was niece worked in Hollywood for the Academy Motion Picture Arts and Science, where she saw the golden statuette. She reportedly said, "Why, it looks just like my uncle Oscar." Well, let me tell you something. They don't mention her niece name, but more likely, if a golden man looks like your uncle, it probably is your uncle. And you should be glad that your uncle was immortalized in a golden statue for actors and actresses to put in their household and say, dang, my uncle is living in this rich man's house for all of eternity. So I guess your uncle lives forever. So, yeah. Number 4, the Dallas Fort Worth International Airport (DFW) is home to the world's largest parking lot. Well, I guess Jerry Jones don't have that record because let me tell you something. Obviously I'm not a Cowboys fan, but do you know how big that parking lot is at AT&T Stadium? It is very huge, and to have the Dallas Fort Worth Airport to have a bigger parking lot than that stadium, that must be one big of a stadium. I mean, one big of a parking lot. The Rick's Husband Amarillo International Airport has the third largest one-way in the. You know, just to say that in Amarillo, Texas, I believe it's Amarillo, in Amarillo, Texas. That's all the way up to the pinnacle of north of Texas. Has the third largest runway in the world. You know how long a runway is for a plane, and then anybody can land on it because it's the third largest, not just in the United States, but in the world. That should tell you something about big things happen in Texas. Although we're not the biggest state in America, that goes to Alaska. But still, besides the point, it's pretty cool. Continue reading. And it is the alternate landing site of the space shuttle. So, in case Houston can't land back in Houston or can't land in the ocean like every other aircraft has done, you can land in the Alamo. You can go to Alamo, Texas, find this big old runway, and I'm sure somewhere in that runway they can land a space shuttle there. So that's pretty cool. Texas has more airports than any other state in the country. I did not know that. I was thinking New York, California, Florida could have more airports than Texas do, but I guess we get the credit for having the most airports out of any other state in America. It's pretty cool. Number 5. This pretty much just demonstrates the uh, geographic perspective of Texas, but at 268,601 square miles, Texas is the largest state in contiguous United States, and it's the second biggest state to the United States. Only Alaska is bigger. Texas is larger than many nations of the world. In other words, largest Contiguous pretty means largest by people who actually uses the land. Um, so yes, by usage of the land, in Texas is the biggest because we use majority of Texas. Alaska, they have different villages and stuff, but they don't use the entire capacity of Alaska. Does that make sense? So by contiguous land, meaning people who actually use percentages of the land, Texas is the biggest. But if you're talking about just in land in general, Alaska is the biggest. Um, yes, Texas is larger than many different nations. If you put Texas in Europe, it probably covers like 50, 15, 16, 17 countries by itself. Texas. So that's um, many, including every country in Europe. If it was a country, it would be the 14th. So if Texas became its own country again, it would be the 40th largest country in the world. The 40th. I think at one point it was its own country until we decide we want to be a part of America too. Uh, it would be the 40th largest country after Chile and Zambia. Those Chile is in South America. Zambia, I believe, is in Africa. So yes. Number 6, the term maverick. So when you talk about a maverick, it's a horse. Uh, it's a type of horse. But according to this thing, let's see what it says. It is derived from the name Samuel A. Maverick, and he lived to be he was from 1803 to 1870. So based on my math, he was about 67, 66, 67 years old when he passed. An early Texas lawyer and pioneer. But yes, a Maverick is a type of horse. It's like a Mustang. I'm not familiar with horses. I'm gonna be honest with you, but you get the gist. Number 7, Texas is the second most popular state in the United States after. This is when I thought that earlier ago because you know California and New York are more populated than us. I was thinking that they had the most airports, that they had more access to go from point A to point B around the world. But no, in terms of population, California is second and New York is number one. We're number three. But anybody and everybody can come to Texas, more accessible to Texas than they can to California and New York, apparently. So, yes. Based on the 2010 census, the U.S. Census report, the population of Texas is 25,145,561. We're in 2024, so that number probably skyrocketed to about almost close to 28, 29 million. In 1990, it was 16,986,510. In the year 2010 was 96.3% per square mile, which is a lot more than Alaska, because Alaska and some cities only have 10,000 people, and less than that. Also, I will do Alaska in another video, but just know that people get paid to live in Alaska. You can get paid to live in the tundra. Just thought I'd let y'all know. The whoever pays them to do so. We just get the luxury saying we don't do luxury taxes in Texas. Number 8, Spanish. The word Texas was the Spanish pronoun Tejas of the Hazañadi Indian word meaning allies or friends. In fact, the Texas state motto is friendship. Ironically, many Native American tribes in Texas, including Hassai, were totally destroyed. You know, this is the thing. And Texas is not the only state that did this to the Native Americans. many states have done the same thing to the Native American. It's just the fact that we're talking about Texas Day. So yes, it is ironic that we talk about how the Native Americans, we it means friendship, but yet we were not friendly to them. In fact, we slaughtered them off the map and wiped out probably pretty much the end of their existence. There's probably some Native Americans here today, but there's a small number because America, as much as I love being in America, we killed them off. Just like the Roanoke's. Not too soon. Um, Number 9. Texas still owns all of its public land. It is a federal government wants to create a park or cut a stand of timber, it must first ask the state permission. So Texas owns the property. No matter in Texas, no matter where you live, if you want to build a house, you're going to have to ask Texas if you can build a house in that land. Even if you bought the property, it still ain't yours until you ask Texas if you have permission to do whatever you want to do in that land in Texas. So it goes city and then state. If the state says yes, but the city said no, then you got some conflict going on. But yes, even if you still bought the land and everything, you still gotta ask permission from Texas. Okay. I apologize for that. When I do edit this, you won't see half that pause. So I do apologize for that. Um, but yes, number 10, Texas. The city of Slaughter, Texas. Okay, before I finish what I'm about to say, slaughter means decimate, destroy of something. That could be a human, it could be paper, it could be anything that you're going to decimate. That's what slaughter means. But if I finish what I'm saying, it's going to be sounding counterintuitive. It's going to be counterintuitive. Did you know that the city of Slaughter, Texas has never had a homicide? I know what you're thinking. Why is it called Slaughter, Texas if it doesn't have any uh, people who that died? Who knows? Number 11, the largest city in Texas is Houston. So yes, the largest city in our big old state is Houston, Texas. It is also ranked as number 4 in the largest city in America. That's what it's going to say. For the United States. Number 12, Texas' nickname is the Lone Star State, as a reminder of its struggles for independence from Mexico and to represent Texas as an independent republic. So yes, so yes, at one point, we are technically called the Republic of Texas. Um, Most people just call us Texas. The Lone Star State, as I mentioned, it is. It reminds us, if you look at that big old star in the flag of Texas, that star reminds us of our struggles for independence from Mexico. So I guess the more you know. Number number 13. It is sad that only Texans would have fought in the Battle of Alamo, where Mexican troops far outnumbered the one. So yes, we didn't get no help from other Americans during the Battle of the Alamo. It was Texas against the whole daggone country of Mexico. The whole country. The whole country of Mexico. Tell me if that's fair. We got the whole military of Mexico taking on 183 people in Texas. They probably had thousands of people marching to the Alamo when we just had 183 people. You better believe we're going to lose that war, that battle. 807 men in this mission turn front all. Well, of course, if you have thousands and thousands of thousands of thousands of people marching to the Alamo, all 187 of them are going to die because that's just a percentage of the Mexican army. Lord have mercy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure David Crockett died. I'm pretty sure Jim Bowie died. I'm sure there's some other famous people that fought in the Alamo, and they died too. By the way, there's a statue. There is a statue of David Crockett in Ozona, Texas. I got to see it in person. Fortunately, don't have a picture of it, but I do love that statue. Number 14. The phrase Six Flags Over Texas refers to the six countries that ruled over Texas territories. The first flag belongs to Spain. Yeah, so if you look at the Six Flags over Texas, I don't think anybody, unless you actually work there, will look at the Six Flags and be like, "Oh yeah, one of those that flag right there is gonna that's Spain right there." Oh, okay. And the second flag was the royal banner of France. The third flag was Mexico. Oh, they have years. Spain from 1519 to 1821. The second flag was the royal banner of France from 1685 to 16. They only had 5 years. Okay. The third flag was Mexico from 1821 to 1836. The fourth belonged to the Republic of Texas from 1836. So yes, that one. This is what I was talking about. We were his own country from 1836 to 1845, and then we said, yeah, we can't do this on our own. So the fifth flag was the United States from 1845 to 1861. So we were with America, and to the point where I'm gonna get a little facts about this because it's getting close to this type of holiday, Juneteenth. 1845, we were a part of the United States. We were considered a union. Was it a union? A Confederate state because we're in the South. So because of a Confederate state, slavery was legal. Well, when during this time when Abraham Lincoln decided he wanted to write the Emancipation Proclamation. It slaved the free slave it freed the slaves in both sides, the Confederate and the Union. Well, the problem is, Texas did not agree with that, so it was during that time where Texas was not a part of the United States because of that. And we rejoined. We had that barrier between 1861 and 1863 because we did not want to. 1861 to 1865, we did not want to free our slaves. We just didn't. So we broke off. Said, yeah, we're done with America. We like to keep our slaves. Yes. Until it took the U.S. government to say this is what happened. They're free. It is a law now to have slaves in your possession. So because of that, they're free. We rejoined the United States in 1865 and to present day. So yeah. And then upon secession, Texas replaced the U.S. flag with one of the Confederate States of America. Yes, this is what I was talking about. Confederate states, meaning they were for slavery, and because of the South. So this is what I was talking about. The term Six Flags has been incorporated into the park, Six Flags, shopping mall, and other venues. Hotels, all that stuff. Hurricane Harbor, all the shebang. Number 15. If Texas were a country, it would rank as the world's seventh longest producer of greenhouse gases. Interesting fact about that. Did you know there's a big opening in our ozone layer, it hovering around Australia, which because of that, it is people in Australia are more prone to have skin cancer than other parts of the world because of that ozone layer. The ozone layers are taking from the solar rays from the sun, and because of that opening in the ozone, they're more prone to have those rays beaming on them, which results in them having cancer from the skin. Anyways, Texas emits more greenhouse gases than any other state in the United States. So I don't know if you've been. I don't know if you ever been to Corpus Christi, but there was this one document that I watched a long time ago, and in Corpus Christi they have factories there that when they're working and operating stuff, what happened was they were shooting out a chemical called benzene, and benzene got into the water, got into the air, and it made people very sick. Um, which resulted in a lot of people getting very sick, dying, and also from contaminated water, contaminated air, and all sorts of stuff. So I'm with that. Even in some oil cities like Odessa, for some reason, San Antonio is a very great city, but awful water because of factories. Of course, Odessa, Midland, um, oil town cities can get in the water, or even the fumes can, you know, molecule itself into the water and it makes it contaminated. So I agree with this 100%. That's why I live in. That's why I live where I live. So that way I don't get sick by the water. And if you do go to the cities, they suggest you to bring your own bottle of water because it's pure. It's already been factory checked and went through a process and all this stuff, so it's purified water. Don't drink it from the faucet at your house or a hotel. I mean, if you shower in it, it's probably the and it's weird how this works. Don't drink cold water from the faucet or sink, but when it's hot, because it kills all that stuff, germs and all that stuff, go for it. Um, number 17. The deadliest natural disaster in the United States was the Galveston hurricane of 1900, which killed between 8 to 12,000 people. That's crazy. Between 8 to 12,000 people. I don't know if you ever been inside Allen High School or Duncanville High School, but they accumulate 8 to 10,000 students in their um, in their school as a whole student body, and just compare that to this hurricane. Um, that's the whole student body dead. The whole student body gone. So just put that in perspective. You ain't got a school anymore. Just like in Galveston, they ain't got a neighborhood. They got their whole neighborhood is eviscerated. Number 19. The letter GTT were 19th century shorthand for gone to Texas. A quick way to people to let their families know that they have left greener grass. Eventually, so many people had head to Texas to escape the law that GTT came to mean on the I am. So it's like modern day text. Text your friends that you live in Oklahoma, and you text your friends, I'm GTT. They're like, what? I'm going to Texas. All right, dang. That's what it means. Dang, I'm GTT. I'm going to Texas. Okay? Get with the lingo. Get with the lingo. You know what TTYL means, but you don't know what GTT means. Come on, girl. Come on, man. Dang. Number 20. The family battle cry. Remember the Alamo is often attributed to Sam Houston, but was actually coined by Texas General Sidney Sherman. So yeah, that's another person who fought in the Alamo and died. Sam Houston. May he rest in peace, along with the 187 other people like David Crockett and Jim Bowie, and yeah. Um. So yes, in case you want to know his life, General Sidney Sherman lived from 1805 to 1873. That will put him at 68 to 67 years old. Number 21. Most popular snack foods in Texas are Frito pie. When I was in school and they served Frito pie, I didn't mind it. Especially with the chili and the cheese and all that stuff. I didn't mind a good Frito pie. Now, when I make it, I can make Frito pie, and when I do make it, it's a chef kiss pretty good. But I just not going to be the first thing I'm always going to get is, oh, well, because I live in Texas, I'm going to give myself a Frito pie. Let's see what else we like. We also mix it with chili. Okay, I don't add onions to mine because I think that's just overdoing it. Just the basic chili and cheese. Boom. Let's do it. Chili and cheese. You're good to go. Uh, Eating straight from the bag. Well, we don't have bags. You have this little carton thing. There's a little carton like you would to hold a hot dog in. This little carton thing it's the same concept. You just get a fork, or a spoon, whatever your preference is. Grab it in. You get that soft but crunch at the same time. You get that chili soft, that cheese melt right in with the chili, and you get that crunch. Oh, pretty good. Um, Peanuts and okay, I hate Doc. Okay, I don't know if anybody. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't like Dr. Pepper. I don't like no Dr. My mom likes Dr. Pepper. My sister likes Dr. Pepper. But I'm not a Dr. Pepper person. I can't stand it. I do drink Diet Dr. Pepper more than I drink the regular Dr. Pepper. I do like some beef jerky. I do love some jalapenos and a corn dog. You know, you can never go wrong with a corn dog. You know, as far as the jerky, dip that thing in cheese, baby. Melted cheese, that thing is banging. Put those jalapenos, back to the Frito pie with the chili and cheese. You can put some jalapenos in it. Just, you know, something that's very simple. But I don't know who likes onions in the Frito pies. If you do, put that in the comments. But I just not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. Number 22. In 1969, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but was Apollo 11 was the aircraft that Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong was in when uh, they uh, they walked to the moon for the first time, and it literally just says right here, Commander. Oh, he's a commander. Neil Armstrong. No relations to Lance Armstrong, but Neil Armstrong called Houston, Texas, from the moon. The first word spoken on the moon in 1960 was Houston. So the first Neil Armstrong, the first ever spacewalk on the moon, his first words on the moon was Houston. I believe the next words is Houston, we have landed. I believe that's what the actual phrase is. But he said Houston. Number 23. Camels were imported into. I knew it. I knew it. Somebody had to bring camels to Texas because we don't have necessarily living conditions for a camel. Unless they're in a zoo, we just don't have camels roaming around, wild camels riding around Texas. I know Texas is a big state, and I'm sure you can find anything and everything, including a UFO, probably Area 52, but you won't just see a camel just roaming around minding his own business and acting like you're his problem. You're in his way. Now, if you're in New Mexico and Arizona, I can see there's camels there, but somebody had to bring camels to Texas, and it shows right here that camels were imported to Texas twice in the 1850s by the U.S. War Department in belief that they would be handy animals to use during the. Just imagine, you're going to war with somebody, and the I think the Egyptians done this. Instead of horses, they use camels to battle. But Texas, we're known for our horses. Who would bring a camel to a war in Texas? Oh, we just think of everything now. We just want to just ride our camel to war in the Indian War. They could be seen roaming Texas hills and deserts well into the 1920s. Unfortunately, we have deserts, but for the thing about taking a camel to battle when we normally traditionally use horses. I know camels can run somewhat fast, but not compared to a horse. They can't run faster than a horse. I understand we're going to battle in style, but not a camel. Dang, leave the camels alone. We're overpopulated with horses. Use one of them. Don't ruin the camel species like we did the dodo birds. Number 24, let's go to Davy Crockett. Davy Crockett, who died at the Alamo, just like everybody else did. Apparently, 186 other people died with David Crockett. Once told the Tennessee peers in Congress, y'all can go to hell. I'm going to Texas. In other words, he said, y'all can kiss my left and right butt cheek because I'm going to Texas. Well, I'm gonna tell you this, David Crockett. I want you to hear this. I bet the people you told that they can go to hell are still alive at that time period. I think they're dead now, but at that time, Davy, you probably should have just stayed at your butt in Tennessee because you died bravely at the Alamo, along with 186 of the people that you fought with. because knowing dang well you can't beat thousands of people in the Mexican army. Hey, they could send their B team and still eviscerate y'all. I'm just being serious. You know, I'm joking around, but dang, it's serious. And last, we're going to do a part 2 video to this a little later, but we're going to do a part 1 right here. Last but not least, the Texas flag, number 25, the Texas flag is called the Lone Star flag. And it has 3 colors, red to represent courage, white to represent liberty. You know, white represents liberty. You know what else represents liberty and freedom? The Statue of Liberty in New York. That's what represents liberty. It literally is in its name, the Statue of Liberty. And the blue represents loyalty. You gotta be loyal when you're like, just like these Cowboy fans, they're loyal to their team, knowing dang well that most of these Cowboy fans that I grew up with in high school, middle school, elementary, after high school, during college and all that, they have never seen the Cowboys win a Super Bowl. I've seen this team make it to the Super Bowl 3 times and won 2 of the 3. Heck, my team played the Green Bay Packers in 2011 at y'all stadium that Jerry Jones built, and every last one of y'all Texas Cowboy fans had to buy a ticket to watch Green Bay and Pittsburgh play, and we lost that Super Bowl, and we could have had 7. Thank you, Aaron Rodgers. Dang. But my point is, even with all of that, the Cowboy fans are still loyal to Dallas. There's no changing that fact. Anyways, continue reading. The largest white star was first used in Texas flag in 1830 during the battle between Texas and Mexico. And trust me, we had a lot of battles with Texas and Mexico. We captured Santa Ana, we captured the main guy, but we lost everything else. We lost Alamo, we lost some other battles, we lost this, we lost that, but we captured Santa Ana, and that's when Mexico fell. Yay! Woo! So yeah. I hope you enjoyed that text fun facts with C-Walkz, Texas, part 1 through 25. Later on, I will do a part 2, 26 through 50. If you enjoy a video, please like, subscribe, whatever, and I'll do more. But until then, deuces, stay fresh.